Let us make sure this information goes out. Our president must be protected to the hilt until this motion is over. Because if, God forbid, anything were to happen, then we have something much bigger to worry about.
The fate of Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua is now in the hands of Parliament, whose 80% members want him impeached. There was significant police presence around Parliament building yesterday as Kibwezi West MP Mwengi Mutuse tabled a motion to impeach Gachagua. Kenya embarks on uncharted political waters amid strained relationship between President William Ruto and his deputy. A bullish Gachagua has on the last few days been on the prowl in several parts of the country, warning the president not to betray him and voters from the Mount Kenya who voted for Kenya Kwanza 2 years ago, arguing no impeachment motion can be tabled in Parliament without Ruto's approval. The impeachment motion has the backing of members across the political divide, having garnered the support of 291 MPs. In his communication to the House yesterday, Speaker Moses Wetangula allowed the impeachment proceedings to commence, noting that it had surpassed the 117 MPs threshold. Wetangula approved the motion for the impeachment of Deputy Gachagua, confirming that all 11 grounds meet the constitutional threshold. Mutuse revealed that 291 MPs signed the petition to remove the deputy president from the office through impeachment. National Assembly Majority Leader Kimani Ichung'wah has called for beefing up security as Parliament prepares to deliberate on the impeachment of Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua. Speaking on Tuesday in Parliament after Kibwezi West MP Mwengi Mutuse gave the notice of motion for the impeachment against the embattled Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua, Ichung'wah raised concerns over the safety of the House. He said this just...
My Honorable Speaker, if you will indulge me, I'll add something on security. But before that is on Standing Order 85, Honorable Speaker. 85-2, which Honorable Speaker would beg, even as you guide members, that members listen, that it shall be out of order to anticipate the debate of a motion of which notice has been given by discussion upon a substantive motion or amendment and all that is said in the Standing Orders, Honorable Speaker. And I say this, Honorable Speaker, because I know we are in an open and transparent society, and many of us will be invited to media stations to discuss this impeachment motion which notice has been given today. Just to caution members that it will be completely out of order to discuss the substance of the motion in media stations before debate, as is contained in our standing orders. So when we're invited to media stations, maybe we be guarded in what we discuss, so that we do not go into the substance of the motion until we are done with debate. After debate, Honorable Speaker, we are all at liberty to discuss, and that includes, Honorable Speaker, both those who have appended their signatures, like myself, and the other few who have not appended their signatures, Honorable Speaker. There are 58 members who have not appended their signatures. Honorable Speaker, just to add on to what the Honorable Farah and Honorable Junet have said, Honorable Speaker, the security of members of Parliament is paramount. Honorable Speaker, I say that looking at you, because you know on the 25th of June this year, Honorable Speaker, none other than yourself, you were a target, and you know that. And not a target for harm, but a target for elimination based on the position you hold as Speaker and the ranking order should anything happen to the President or the Deputy President, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I want to beg that you take with a little more weight the issues raised by Honorable Junet and Honorable Farah Maalim, because, Honorable Speaker, we have seen it on social media. We have been told by certain quarters that before March of 2025, they say bendera itapepea mlingoti nusu. Honorable Speaker, These are weighty issues.
On the other hand, soon MP Junaid Mohammed, while appreciating the magnitude of the matter before the House, expressed concern about the security of the lawmakers participating in the proceedings against Gachagua. He implied that those in favor of the motion could be intimidated or waylaid or even be subject to adverse security realities in the bid of unnamed people to suppress the proceedings. The MP referenced the events at Capitol Hill in 2021 when former U.S. President Donald Trump's supporters violently stormed the Congress, sending the panic-stricken lawmakers into hiding. Let's just listen to what he said.
I don't intend to anticipate the debate.
I will not allow you to.
Yeah, because this is just a notice of motion. But, Mr. Speaker, there are matters that surround the notice of the motion that needs your guidance and action, Mr. Speaker, because, Mr. Speaker, this is a very momentous issue. Because, as you are aware, when this country gave itself the new constitution, Mr. Speaker, Kenyans were very happy. And this is one of the moments in this House, Mr. Speaker, when we are going to exercise Article 150, which has not happened before. So, Mr. Speaker, this is a very, very important matter for this nation, Mr. Speaker, that is being exercised through this House. But having said, Mr. Speaker, as you're aware, there are members from our side and members from the other side who have signed to this petition, to this motion, Mr. Speaker. And, Mr. Speaker, I wanted to get your assurance as the boss of this House, as the leader of this House, as the Speaker of this House, Mr. Speaker, that the 291 members of Parliament who have signed to this motion, Mr. Speaker, their safety and security will be guaranteed, Mr. Speaker. Because the motion does not end at the tabling, at the notice of motion today. It will go through a process. It will be formally again moved. Members will debate, and members will vote on it. Mr. Speaker, we want those 291 members of Parliament to turn up here the day of voting, Mr. Speaker, without missing any one of them, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, we have just passed the new Inspector General of Police the other day here, Mr. Kanja. Not really. He must take responsibility as the Inspector General of Police, Mr. Speaker, to guarantee the safety, as the Inspector General of the country, Mr. Speaker, to guarantee the safety and the security of the 291 members. Mr. Speaker, you know this thing. What we are doing is not a small thing, Mr. Speaker. When Trump was being removed, was being impeached in the United States, Mr. Speaker, you know what he attempted to do. And what can happen here, you know, Mr. Speaker. And let us not fight, let us not begrudge anyone, because what the House is doing is constitutional, because the House is just exercising its mandate. It's not doing anything outside the Constitution. There is nothing unconstitutional that's happening in this House, Mr. Speaker.
On the same, MP Maalim calls for enhancement of Ruto's security during DP's impeachment process. Speaking on the floor of the House on Tuesday, MP Maalim said the security of the president is of utmost concern and importance should be enhanced. Kikuyu MP Kimani Ichung'wah also said the security of MPs is paramount, calling on the Inspector General of the Police to ensure they are secured in and outside the parliament. Speaking on the floor of the House on Tuesday, MP Maalim said the security of the president is at most concerned and importance should be enhanced. He further alleged that some of people may plan to harm the president, saying Ruto must be protected until the motion is over. Let's hear what he had to say.
For president to the hilt, because you know the kind of a constitution we have. Any reckless thug can decide to change the course of history if, God forbid, anything were to happen to our president. You get my point? And there are people who we have been so worried lately. I get the feeling that they can even have the capacity to plan something like that. Let us make sure this information goes out. Our president must be protected to the hilt until this motion is over.
Gachagua has been accused of allegedly violating Section 2, 3, 4, and 7 of the Proceedings of Crime and Anti-Money Laundering Act. committing crimes under Section 132 of the Penal Code and Section 29 of the Leadership and Integrity Act. He has also been accused of being a bully who has been in threatening public officials and carried himself in a manner that brings disrespect to the office that he holds. Mutuse also accused the DP of gross misconduct in the manner of insubordination of the presidency and the Kenyan state.